November 15th, Palm Desert, Bkfc. You got the Panda God coming in for another Bkfc heavyweight fight. And just saying, I'm going to bring the pandemonium, baby.
What's up, fight fans? Chris here, Combat Loop MMA. We have a super unique dude. This dude has fighting. This dude has football. We have CJ, Panda God, Avila. What is going on, my man?
Hey, what's popping, guys? How you doing today, brother? How you doing today?
Just feeling blessed. I'm excited to talk to you. You're one of the young prospects in the division. You're one of the young prospects in the Bkfc. I love seeing young prospects coming in. Trust me, we're building this brand. We're building Bkfc to be the best combat sports. And as you know, this already is the fastest growing sport in the world. And I can tell you, you probably are pretty privileged to be in it. If I could say anything, it's a privilege to have you in the Bkfc.
Thank you, man. Again, like how you're saying, it's an absolute blessing to be in the Bkfc. I started my amateur career at Gladiator Challenge, won the amateur state title, for heavyweight, and just got blessed with this opportunity for Bkfc. It is, and like you said, I am one of I think the fifth youngest, Bkfc member on the roster. I'm only 24 years old, and just, again, I want to make a Bkfc a lifelong endeavor. Imagine like seeing those guys, Joe Lozon in Bkfc for their entire career. I want to be one of those guys. I want to be a legacy fighter. It just make it my whole thing. And like you saying, I got football coming in. I always rep my any team. The 37U, 37. Football like 11 man. Right now I'm rocking with the Oceanside Bobcats of the CFCA, but again, fighting is just so much fun. I just can't stay away from the fucking ring. I love it.
It's so hard to be away from it. Every time I can't go. It's like when I don't have fighting for a weekend to talk about, I'm like, bro, what am I going to do? This weekend's kind of no Bkfc this weekend for me. So I have next weekend to look forward to, which is your weekend. It
Yes,
brings us all to that one, baby. November 15th, we have the Panda God returning.
Exactly.
What do you have to say? Are you excited or what's going on, man?
Well, hey, I'll tell you this, CJ Akato, the Panda God, that's my gamer tag, but, Caleb Avila, Panda Man, Kung Fu Panda, is coming at, Bkfc Palm Desert with just pure action, pure pandemonium. It's just pure love of this game and, say a bar fight turned professional. That's the best way I like saying it. I'm just one of the best at saying that.
Bro, do you know that pandas, it's a crazy thing, but do you know pandas, like when you see them, they're like, oh, that thing is so cute and so nice. And then I find out they're not nice at all. They will rip your face off.
No, the funny thing you actually said bite your face off. So that's actually how I got the nickname Panda. So my junior year at Valley Center High School, like I kept wearing this panda colored, like jacket, like white sleeves, black. And everybody's like, oh, yeah. I then get in a fight at lunchtime. And then in between the fight, like I have him on the ground and I bite his nose. And later at practice, obviously I get called out in front of the team, like you starting a fight and you bite this kid's nose. Like a couple of days later, the defensive coordinator, he's like, oh, don't mess with Caleb. Don't mess with Caleb. He's like a panda. He wears that, jacket and he'll bite your freaking nose off.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Actually, it's crazy.
That is pretty awesome. So I always ask, man, like we always want to know origin stories because, everybody's created it a little bit differently. When did you know you were going to start fighting professionally for one? And how did you get into fighting?
So just kind of how I got into it and how I knew I was going to start are two different, stories. The first one on how I knew I was going to start fighting in general.
Like, to be a pro, like when did you know you were going to be a pro fighter, bro? Because it's not like, it's weird to say, but like you knew you made it and you're at a high echelon of a fight. You're a high fight now, man. This is not like some amateur shit. This isn't some low-level pro. This is probably the second best organization. It's like you made it in fighting when you make it here.
Yeah, this is like a top-tier organization. I kind of realized me going pro just in fighting in general after I won the amateur championship, I was like, fuck yes. I was just gonna be like, after I won that, like that boost of confidence just coming through is just yes, like having that like medal. I still have it, like pinned up in the main house. It's just it's like the moment I like got that, I'm like, it's not just a dream anymore. It's possibly within reach. Uh, and then just kind of me knowing like I wanted to fight was just, or I even could in the first place was during my 1 year in junior college
It
at
wasn't that junior.
MSJC.
It wasn't. Hey, hold on. It wasn't your junior year in high school where you bit that kid's face, the nose.
No, no, it was my junior year in high school when I bit that kid's. I bit his
That
nose.
wasn't. That
Yeah.
wasn't when you knew. That wasn't like, hey, that's my origin story. That's when I was a fighter. I became a fighter that day.
No, I was just a troubled kid.
Oh, that's a lot of us. That's a lot of us, dude. Like a lot of us.
I just had anger issues. Uh, but just kind of like how I knew I could fight, or it would be kind of I got jumped by a couple of my teammates for just I have no idea like at MSJC, and then there's three of them. Like I didn't get knocked out. They didn't, win. I didn't win, but I was able to at least fight them off. And the second time they came around, one of them had a brick, boom, right to the side of the head, still standing somehow. And then after that, literally, as like the second time, like they were kind of like running off, I was a little bit beat up, but I was still standing. I'm like, fuck, man, I should become a fighter.
That is a pretty awesome way to know that you became a fighter. Then you're 1-1 in BKFC, we're correct, and you're
Yes,
going
one and
into
one.
this. Yeah, and you're going in against Mark. Now, how do you feel? And how was it when you put pen to paper when you signed the contract?
I actually watched, Mark Culp's, first fight. That was one of the first, BKFC, pay-per-views, I ever watched. I was like, man, and I just saw him come rush in, and that was before my fight even. And I was like, damn, like he came in guns blazing and it got him burnt, and I've watched that fight over and over. Like I've watched every 205 and heavyweight fight since then, and it's just I've watched every single one over and over and over because those are my potential matchups. Anybody from the 205 division to the heavyweight division, and I have a lot of good confidence in seeing it. The moment I saw his name, I realized, hey, I've actually studied this fighter before, so I felt supreme confidence in my ability, just kind of like, hey, this is not an unknown, but it's somebody that I could just kind of come in and just kind of you know see if the knowledge I have of him will work.
Yeah. Well, hey, November 15th is coming up. It's next weekend, man. Tell me
Heck
how
yeah.
training camp's been. Yeah, tell me how training's camp been. Now, I know you have some pretty cool dudes in your camp, so listen, you want to holler at them, you're more than welcome to, because I know that camp that you're fighting in is probably getting you pretty good.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Like you're saying, I have some legends in my corner of SoCal. First off, we have JT Money, one of the first Ultimate Fighter winners, Jesse Taylor. He recently started joining our gym at North County MMA, started teaching those MMA classes, and just his kind of dirty boxing skill, just being able to, creative, openings, everything that has just been an absolute blessing. I have Derek Anderson, which is a Bellator
Beast.
legend. Yes, dude, absolute freaking beast. He's been healing his leg up from his last injury, and we're trying to get him on a BKFC card. And just his intensity, his just drive, that just lights a fire in you. And a unique guy that I've kind of met with the 37U, the semi-pro developmental football is this guy named Trey Beckman. He's a former NFL prospect. He's kind of getting ready for his, amateur MMA debut at Epic, fighting in San Diego. He's just a beast. Me and him go in there, for like 3 rounds, 2 minutes each, and he just knocks my head off. And it's just phenomenal just being like with that type of athlete, getting ready for that type of guy. It's just,
Yeah. Iron
yeah,
sharpens
and
iron,
having those
brother.
type of
Iron,
legends.
iron sharpens iron. And if
Exactly.
you're around people that are beating your ass, you're in the right gym. I can promise you that. I can tell you that for being around fighting for 25 years. The people that don't get challenged and they're the alpha dogs inside their gym, they're not getting better, dude. And they're not really expanding their horizons. When you're
Hmm.
getting beat up in class and there's people that challenge you, you get so much better, dude. And it's just how it is. What are something that fans are going to look forward to as far as like wrinkles in your game? Have you been improving anything aspect wise inside your game? You gonna throw any new wrinkles in there for us?
So I think the parts that everybody has seen in my last few bare knuckle matches is I get hit a lot, and I like making the joke that I'm a walking talking punching bag. Like I'll take your hits and just like start throwing it back at you. But like with my first fight, Joe White, he was just a big guy, and it's just kind of hard, getting through that, and just kind of just need to work a lot more on my defense if I'm being honest. Kind of like throwing, like how you're saying, wrinkles. I stand very straight up, kind of like a taekwondo stands, even though I'm not freaking fracking kicking or something like that. uh, but I think my new stance that I've been working with, and just general head movement will kind of just be like, okay, this guy has kind of like dug in more into the sweet science than just kind of been in a dirty rotten brawler. Because again, I am the first one to say I'm tougher than a $2 steak. Like I can say that about a few different people. I got that quality. You know, but but I need to prove that I'm not just tough, that I can be a tough fighter, that I know how to fight, that I can't just be a Homer Simpson. I can't just get bop bop bop. He's tired. He's tired.
I don't want
Yeah.
to see it. That's not the way to go, dude. Homer Simpson was
No.
great, but we don't want to have that. We want to be a technical boxer. We don't want to get touched, and we want to see a knockout. That's what we want to see. We want to see him
Yeah.
come off with no injuries. We don't ever want to see injuries for anybody, but that's a good way to keep going. I want to ask you this, dude. What's your aspirations inside BKFC? What do you want to be when you're done with all this nonsense? Do you want to be able to say, "Hey, I got a belt at heavyweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight"? Do you want to hold 3 belts? Is there anything that you want to do for BKFC? I want to know your goals in BKFC.
Obviously, I have 3 goals. Well, first off, just become ranked in any division. Second goal, become a champion in any division. And third, just become an outright legend, become synonymous with BKFC and just bare knuckle fighting in general. I don't, again, it doesn't matter if it takes 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. I got the time. I am one of the heavier guys in one of the heavier weight classes. I got the time, to make this a legacy. It don't matter, what it is. And I also have the random determination saying, "Hey, I'll do it. Why not?"
I
Like,
think that's a very small percentage of people that actually do it. It's crazy. It's like 99%, 99.9% of people will never do what you do. You're that 0.0001% of those people that do it. I commend you. You're a badass man for doing it. And it's also my favorite time, dude. So, in this segment, I want you to give back to your sponsors, the people that have helped you get to where you're at. We give it to coaches, to whatever you want to do. Give it out to the people that have helped you.
first off, I always want to thank North County MMA. I always want to thank, my coaches, Johnny Hughes. He's the person that's given me every single opportunity. I always want to thank my grandmother for, always helping me, through the day to day, like waking me up. She's like, "Don't you have to run?" He's like, "Thank you, Grandma. I actually, yeah." I want to thank my niece, my nephew, just for kind of like giving me that motivation. Be like, I love these guys so much. I just gotta be, I gotta be cool. I gotta win fights for them. I want to thank, Derek Anderson. I want to thank JT Money. I want to thank Trey Beckman. I want to thank everybody that is in that North County MMA gym that wants me to win and just kind of pushing me on and just kind of getting me better. I want to thank you, brother, for giving me the opportunity for this interview. I want to thank BKFC itself just for being so fucking badass.
Yeah, I like that, dude. BKFC is a badass thing. Now, the fans' favorite part, not always my favorite part because I get my ass whooped, but we do the pretender versus contender. And this one, my man, you are an actual contender, and who is not? Me. Which makes me a pretender. I would like to get in there, give a little spar out for the fans, show them the speed, show them the size, show them the skill. What do you say, dude? What do you think?
Hell to the yes, brother.
Yeah,
You want to do it in MMA gloves, boxing gloves, or anything?
it doesn't matter to me, dude. I can roll with the best of. I can roll with the best of them. That doesn't mean I am the best of them, but I can roll with the best of them. I can lose like the best of them. I don't care. I'm always trying to learn, and I'm trying to get better every single day. So that is my goal as a martial artist: is to get people around me better and to make myself better. So if I can do those things, sir, that is all I look for. Now you'll see. I have a little karate movement to me, so I'm kind of hard to hit. Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
I
man.
got that little bit of taekwondo to me too, you know. And I'll say this: we'll do just 2 rounds, 2 minutes, and then you know, if I win, I get a plate of your absolutely delicious barbecue. You know, best in all of Florida. I'm hearing. Hell
Yes, sir.
yeah!
Yeah, hey,
Woo-hoo.
I'll
I get
send you
that.
some if you. I'll have to send you like a pound a month if I lose. How about that?
No,
Something crazy.
I'll say that. You know, I get I get that, and I get the privilege of repping you in any of in my future fights.
All
But if
right.
I lose, I'll pay double, and then
It's always free, dude. There's no payment coming to my way. You guys always get free food. I love you guys a lot, and you take your time. And like I said, we're building your brand, man. Our important thing is to build your brand as a fighter. Because after you get done fighting, I want you to have something to have, so you have money coming in. You know, and I want to help you continue to be a better and better person and get better fights, man. That's always our
hell
goal.
yes, brother.
Now
That's the name of
we're
the
coming
game.
down to our favorite part here, dude. Come November 15th, we have you fighting, and I want you to tell the fans if they've never seen you, which some people have, some people haven't, but they need to check you out because if they don't know about the Panda, they're going to find out. Tell the fans what you have coming November 15th.
November 15th, Palm Desert, Bkfc. You got the Panda God coming in for another Bkfc heavyweight fight. And just saying, I'm gonna bring the pandemonium, baby. Absolute fucking panda squad coming through. You know, I got all my fans coming from San Diego, all my friends from the IE, and all my friends from LA popping up. So hey, be part of the panda squad, be part of the Panda Man section. Let's get it.
Hey, baby,
Absolute riot. Let's get
that's
it.
what I'm talking about. Hey, I look forward to talking to you after your fight, man. Good luck. God bless. And I can't wait to meet you, man.
God bless you, brother. Hey, again, I need to accept a fight in Florida so I can get some of that tasty
Hey, you can just come down
barbecue,
here and hang
man.
out whenever you want, bro. I'll
Yes,
take care of you.
sir.
Just come down here. I live in Tampa. We can come down to the BKFC December 5th. Look at that one. That's going to be a wild one.
Heck yeah.
You should look
Hey, you
at it.
know, if I ever get, any of those, I have a UFL tryout, later in the year in December. If I get picked up by, maybe like a Florida team, fuck yeah.
Hey, I'm good.
I'm
Hey,
trying
I'm
out
good
for
with you, dude.
linebacker.
Hey, I appreciate you, dude. Much love to you. Good luck to you. I'll talk to you soon.
God bless, man.